Hey guys, this time on the lockdown edition of Deep Junk Garage. I thought I would just do a quick video tonight and kind of give you a rundown of what's going on the bench and things that are coming up. So we've got our race car challenge coming up on the 28th, Saturday the 28th. And unfortunately, this is my car still. When I build a car, I just can't take one and say, okay, on the 28th, this one is what I'm going to have done. On the next month, in 1, 2, 3 Saturdays, this one, and this one. I've got to have some inspiration to do one, and I looked at that by watching different videos, going to car shows, talking to people, and if I happen to see a car that inspires me. Mario's got a Willys, and then a Willys is a car that I would want to have as a race car. But I'm looking at different ones. If I see another Willys gasser, I'd probably, throw up. So, but I don't want a Willys that's a, what's the correct term? Fairgrounds Queen, Trailer Queen, Billet, Good Guys, Nationals Queen. It would be, and blown Hemis. Every Willys seems to have a blown Hemi in it. How about a Chevy engine? You said a buddy of mine that had one a while back. It was a 409, blown 409 in it. So that was the inspiration behind this. Unfortunately, the color that I wanted, I can't get now because the hobby shop and the paint store that I deal with locally, they're non-essential businesses and they will not be open. So I'm going to have to come up with a mix of my own, and we'll see what happens there. Again, it's an inspiration kind of thing for me. You just can't. I can't just if there's it is one reason why I don't do a lot of the challenges and the build-offs and stuff. It has to be something that I can get behind. So, and it's no offense to anyone else. It's just that's what I need to build one. So the Willys is close. I mean, in 4 days I should have no problem finishing the car. A lot of the major body work is all finished. I have the chassis worked out with the wheels. I've cut up the interior, and I'm making a race car interior for it using the stock dash and stuff. The scoop that came with the car. So that one, yeah, I don't really see a problem inside of 4 days. The Monte Carlo number 2. You remember we did a Monte Carlo here a couple weeks ago, guys. It was a dark green Monte Carlo, had like a Torx rust wheel on it. So I had this one, another Fast and Furious Monte Carlo, and I was doing the car the same. Had something in mind for it. It wasn't going to be on the channel, as I had just done one, and I really wasn't going to sell it either, but I was just doing one and doing the same detail work and that. I got to about the same place where when I had to repaint the first car, the green, and this one I just couldn't I couldn't get behind it, getting ready to clear coat it, so I stuck it in the stripper. We're going to try this again. The chassis on this one has been blacked out. I've got wheels set aside for it. I do have to get wheels for just to have for future projects coming up. I'm low in that neighborhood, and I'm wondering if how they'll be delivering stuff, especially something coming in from outside the country. But at any rate, the Monte Carlo, I'm thinking about a color that was 70 to 72 El Camino and Chevelle. A play, either the factory color or a play on it that that might look a little custom, but still has a factory, like a 70s look to it, to go with. And I would use another set of torque thrusts on this one, which brings me to another car. Oh, hold on, guys, let me grab this thing real quick. All right, Diecast Outcast has a red line challenge coming up, and for that I was going to buy one, but I remembered I had this car. That's a McLaren M6A from, I believe, 1968. The color, I don't expect you guys to be able to know. Some of you are pretty good at this, you might know. I don't even know what color that is. I'm not the restoration guy on these red lines that some of y'all are. So doing a play on this and pulling from the history of the M6A, Bruce McLaren's break into Can-Am, the car that actually, one of the two cars that actually won a championship for him. Something like that. But I have no idea what the color is, and I need a rear bonnet for this car. I've seen the windscreens online. This one is in one piece, it's not busted, so we'll try to polish that up and see what it looks like. The wheels, actually, they're not bad on this thing. The axles are, torqued up there, but the wheels, despite the chrome being on, wheels aren't chewed up, and they've got red lines, still on them. So if it comes down, I'd really like to try to clean up those wheels once and see how they do. But if anybody's got any, can tell me like what color this car is or was, it's obviously, I'm not going to restore it. That where the paint or the spectra flame is gone, that casting is pretty rough. But I'd like to do, I'd like to make a play on that original color, go back to its history. It'll be a custom. It's not going to be a restoration, but I want it to be, close. And if anybody's got a hood back there, it looks like both those pins are in place. I don't know how hard it's going to be to get one on and get it to work right again, but maybe not at all. But so if anybody's got any information about that one, I'll see that I take that as a challenge. It was found, it was given to me, and I put it aside. And even when Diecast Outcast had brought the challenge up, I thought I'm gonna have to buy one, and that was a couple days before I realized, hell, I've got one. So we've got that one floating around here on the table, and I also got another one up here that I was just gonna mess around with and maybe make a video in a couple parts. This is a 97 Tahoe by Matchbox. It's a pretty nice car. It was in that box of, I call it a casket of cars that I have now. Where the Jeep, what do you call it? The truck. You can tell I'm not doing this with edit, but I've been hitting the head a lot, guys, so I forget things easy. Scrambler, the Jeep Scrambler from last week there, or the week before the Volkswagen. It was all in the same box. This one has a bent axle. It's bent over here on the right front, but the paint is got a couple tiny chips in it, and they weren't perfect from the factory, but this thing could be just detailed, straighten up the axle, replace the axle. You could do wheel and tire and paint and do the whole 9 yards on it, but I like the truck. I'm just looking for a direction, so this one it hasn't hit me yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and strip it and play off the tan interior and see if I get like a maroon body like what's on it, or black would probably go with tan. Anything that would go with the tan. I don't know. We'll just kind of throw caution to the wind with this one. I've had it and I've been looking at it long enough up on the table. So that's it, guys. That's what's been going on. Just we'll probably do this a couple times a week, just show you what's going on. Because after the Willys, after the race car challenge, I really don't have anything next up, on my plate. I do have to get some wheels. I've got a couple ideas running around, but nothing that I am all that excited for. So, you guys stay safe. Look out for your loved ones. This isn't as bad as I don't think is what the news blows up to be. But you've got to still be careful. Just like any flu, this is it attacks the upper respiratory. It's not something you want to drag home to your grandma or something. So, yeah, a little caution. All right, guys, thanks for hanging in there and checking us out. I'm slow on getting to the comments and that from the rabbit. I will do that. I read them all, and I surely appreciate you. And we'll talk to you, maybe tomorrow, next day coming up here. Thanks, guys.